and recreate wholeness and ascension from those shattered fragments, because the strength and integrity of the Christic template is so powerful that we can integrate all those little fragments into our being and pull them all into a unified whole again. That's what the entire Amenti Rescue Mission is about. So the stuff that I gave you about figments and elementals, you can take a look at that. The elementals are, little tiny beings. And you can think of this reality field as kind of like a big soup of little fragments of consciousness that are from all kinds of beings. Like I said, it was originally said as the Amenti Rescue Mission, so all the fragments were originally fallen from Terra, but we've got lots and lots of fragments from all the incarnational cycles of time here. Some of them belong to us, and some of them belong to all the billions of other beings that are incarnate now or have been incarnate. And there's mineral kingdom and animal kingdom and vegetable kingdom, plant kingdom, all kinds of beings. When we are going through our daily experience, you are finding that the thoughts and experiences that you have may belong to your own organic template, or they may belong to some of these little pieces that you're pulling into your template. Some of the thoughts that you have aren't really your thoughts. It's energy that you've pulled in and you're accreting into your template, and there it is, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily yours. But because it's in your experience, your body, your mind, it's your responsibility to take it on and to turn it around and bring it back to the Christ. That's what we're here for. So the figments are from all the lives and the incarnations that have been here, are the thoughts, the thought forms of all these different beings. We've had a mass thought field on this planet that is very chaotically organized, that comes from the damaged parts of all the templates of all the beings that have experienced shattering and fragmentation here. So we are bringing those in. Now the real challenge comes because of the shadow dancers that attach through those shadow forms, through the figments, through the elementals, through all those little pieces that it's our agreement to pull into one unified form and bring home to the Christ. The shadow dancers, which are the Metatronic beings that are fully fallen and cannot be reclaimed into the Christ because their templates are so mutated that is no longer possible, they attach to us through those reversed shadow forms, through those little fragments. So my personal experience is that the work that we all need to do, that is the emotional body and the physical body stuff, is all about, at its core, what is personal to us in this life. Because that's the core through which all that stuff attaches to you. Is what's the stuff that makes you have a hard time that is reversed in you that's from this lifetime right now. Because everything else funnels through that. So let me just pause for a second and have anybody, ask or say anything that you want to about that.
What's the best way to clear that stuff?
You got it, and we're doing it. But techniques without really paying attention, to clearing the real personal stuff, just doing a bunch of techniques, isn't going to really do anything for you. It's how you do it. And so it's a lot about walking through your day and saying, well, the thought that I'm having right now, what kind of a thought is that? Is that a thought that really aligns with Source, or is that a thought that kind of goes the other way? And you can tell that really easily. I mean, we all know that. Are you feeling open? Do you feel love, or do you feel terrified? Do you feel angry? Are you snarly, or are you nice and open and expansive? Do you feel clear? Do you feel good about yourself? If you're feeling bad about yourself, that's a reversal. So my own personal guide is the thoughts about yourself and the way that you're walking through your day, but especially the thoughts and the feelings you're having about yourself are those thoughts and feelings that you think God feels about you. You know, is that what you think God's perspective would be? He says, yeah, you are a lazy, rotten bum. You know, I knew it. Well, you know, I don't think so. So that kind of stuff, if you have that orientation, you can say, oh, oops, there I did it again. The fight or flight instinct is a huge part of this, and there's not a single life form on the planet that is exempt from that. I mean, that is biologically programmed into every single life form on the planet right now because it's coming through the planet, and it's a really strong program. But it is not one that works in your favor in terms of ascension and in terms of really unifying our templates. So whenever you find yourself in a panic, that is something where you want to remember that our templates are so much bigger than that. We are so much bigger than that. And to be terrified is to actually diminish yourself to a being that's small enough, you know, that can be manipulated. And we don't want to be manipulated. We want to be the ones who are making the choices and making the choices that we want to make. So this kind of sounded like a pep talk, didn't it? Yeah.
So apart from watching on a daily basis, you know, what comes in as a thought form or emotion or a reaction to, you know, action, you're also saying about what is really, really deep within in the core of, right?
Yes.
And that sometimes takes a little time to sort of, I know for me, when you said it, it was like I was hearing Chinese because it didn't register. And then when you went through giving examples of, you know, as the day goes, it kind of went a little deeper, but I'm still a little lost.
So she's asking about, you know, besides really paying attention on a moment-to-moment basis, how do you really become aware of those kinds of patterns? And how...
The core, you know, the core. I feel on a daily basis that I'm already watching every move.
Mm-hmm.
I get up in the morning, I set an intention, I do my stuff, and I'm pretty cool, calm, and relaxed, you know, because I deal with a lot of people. But there is something that is really, really deep down in the core where I know that I've worked on, but there is something that's hidden that if I really delve down, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a memory of many, many thousands of years. There's like gook there that I don't know what it is from. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Did everybody hear her question? Okay. So that's exactly what we're talking about. And some of what is here, I think we're clear about, is we didn't make it. And it was here before this planet was created. I mean, it's kind of the reason the planet was created. And it's a lot of the substance that the planet was created with, was the fallen parts of Terra.
So we are born and we basically take the karma of the...
Yeah, we are here to completely clear that. And because of that, you sort of have to work both ends of it. You have to be aware of the personal end of it, but you also have to work with these techniques which bring in a level of energy and consciousness and frequency that is so powerful that it can reach all the way through the personal down into that deepness. Because if we were going to just walk the karma step by step, we would be here for another couple of billion years, and I don't have any intention of doing that, and I don't think any of you do either. So it's a matter of having tremendously accelerated clearing of all that karma. Yes.
I'm a bit confused about you're aware on a day-to-day basis of your thoughts, and then you get a thought that is negative about yourself, and then you throw it. No, this is not the thought that's mine, or I want to heal this. How do you do it?
You can do it a lot of different ways, but a lot of what we're doing with all the techniques that we're using here through the freedom teachings is how to clear the many layers of that. You clear it with the energy of your consciousness as a Christos avatar and above, bringing it all the way down into your personal consciousness. So in essence, all I'm saying is that you need to be aware of those moment-by-moment distortions so you can tap into the energy that these techniques bring you and bring it right down into that point and say, there, I want to flow the energy of my full Christic consciousness right in that. So you can direct it.
So, as an example, the lazy bum example.
Uh-huh.
You get during the day, and at night you are a technique and flood the gates, open the gates and flood it with Christic energy.
You can use the technique that we just used with the two Kathara grids. The original 100% clear Christic Kathara grid and the miasmic Kathara grid. You're merging them. And we've got hundreds and hundreds of techniques. And they're all designed to rebuild your Kathara template so you can run more and more of your true self and accelerate the clearing faster and faster and faster and fulfill our own personal service contracts and serve as host for the greatest amount of the planetary field that we can. Now we're going to do more.
Keep going. Okay, so now we're going to move into, I'm going to do a little description about what the technique will be like, and it's a description with slides so that you can get a really good feel. Then we'll take a little bit of break, and then we're going to do a 45-minute technique. So I want to make sure that everybody takes advantage of that break so that you're comfortable during the technique. When we do the technique, you will be asked to sit in a loose lotus position, which is kind of like Indian style. But for those of you who can't, get as close as you can. The most important thing is to have your spine straight. And another part will be laying down, and then we'll be asked to sit up again. So after you come back from the break, which will be a short break, 6-minute break, you're going to want to find a comfortable spot in the room, whether that's your chair or on the floor. Okay? Just giving you a heads up there. All right, so. You can lie down on the floor. Right. If you lie down, then you sit up. You can lie back down in the same space. That's what I would suggest. Okay. So what we're going to talk about here is the Elemental Command Sliders teams. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to meet your slide team, you're going to get to meet them tonight. And this is from the Festival of Light 2009 workshop. And I have the picture here of what the product actually looks like should you choose to look further into this at the product table. It's just to make it a little easier because there's a lot of product out there now. Okay, can we have the next slide? So our slider team is referred to as the Floating Buddhas. The Floating Buddhas Elemental Command Sliders team. All the groups are Christic, Adashi, Adept, Ascended, Mashayahana, eternal life breatharian species who choose to retain a messianic biological form in their home environment. So they've already been where we're at, and they're way beyond here. And they're, again, reaching down to help us if we choose to reach our hand up to grab their hand. So we have, these are the command tones. This is where they are from. This is the name. And this is their job, so to speak. Okay, so we have from Eartha, M31. Eartha, for those of you who don't know, is our hosting planet. Okay, it's actually hosting planet Earth. So we have what are called the Bendy Aquari, which we met in the 12 Tribes classes, for those of you who took those classes. And they are trainers. They're very good with technical information. And the command tone to call them is Zata. Okay, so this isn't necessarily the name, but that's what you would call if you wanted to talk to that specific Buddha. Then we have from Eartha M31, we have the Aquafarian. These are the greeters that we also met in the 12 Tribes classes. And if you didn't have that opportunity, you'll get to meet them tonight. And their sound tone is A2. Then we have from Shala 3, the Aquael healer. This is the Kisa. We're going to be working with Kisa tonight. And from Ashale 3, we have the Akwi, also a healer, and that is Are. So we are going to be working with the Kisa Are. Another one is from Median Earth, the Zayane, and they are attendants. They, from my understanding, is they will help you with anything that you need. But they're not necessarily specialists in healing. They're not necessarily specialists in technical information, but they will help you with anything. They can help you get to the right person for the information that you need or the healing that you require. And then we have the Aquafairy. These are our helpers and our playmates. If you're like me and you find yourself sitting alone one day and go, I forgot what it was like to have fun, you might want to call on the Sieta. Okay? Next slide, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called a Shade. We're going to formally meet our Shade Cloister, Elemental Command Sliders team. We're going to do the Floating Buddha Rite Part 1, which is actually calling the cloister. So you're actually calling them in and say, yes, I want to be doing this. I want to co-create with you. And this is where we call them in for the first time. And then they're with us until we get to Median Earth. Isn't that nice? And it's also where we link with them. We make our first link. And then we'll go into the second part, where we actually experience becoming Buddha. And Buddha is the unification within the self, just if anybody didn't know what Buddha means. And we'll activate what's called a Shade shield. A Shade shield is our personal projection shield. When we have done some classes, you know that we've done Shadras, correct? And that's like a whole group of people all lined up in specific geometrical configuration, right? That's called a Shadra. Well, this is our personal projection shield, and it's called a Shade shield. Okay? So once we're in the Buddha space, then we get to meet the healers. This is an amazing experience. We do something in this particular healing, the Kisa Array healing, called the Vibhati false homing seed, and it gets cleared. The Vibhati cell is what's holding the false homing seed, and what happens is the false homing seed gets dissolved, and your true homing seed comes to life. And the homing seed, it basically calls to you from the place on the planet that is your true place of origin, where you would feel the most comfortable and the most welcome. And you feel that resonance with the planetary grids there. It doesn't mean that you have to live there all the time. You can just go there and visit and take a picture, and then when you do your floating Buddha rite, you can project yourself in your Shade shield to your homing, the place of your homing. Some people might have it in a different country. So you don't have to feel like you have to go and live there, but your homing seed will guide you, and so will your Buddha team. Okay? After we do that, then they go into healing the wounds of time. This is where this is where we do the activation of the true homing seed, but then we get the love touch return to trust. This is amazing where the healers, one stands in front of you, one's in back of you, and they basically embrace each other and share the love that they have with each other, and you're in the middle of it. It feels really, really good. And then what they do is, this is when the last time that we actually sit up, is they release something called the biotes. So why would you want to do that? Okay, a biote is something that grows into a scorpion and eventually takes over the body. And what it does is it attaches itself to the spine. So you're going to be asked to sit up if you choose, and they will begin a clearing that will release those biotes from your spine. And then you can, and this is what I do, and I highly recommend it, is when you call in your team, ask them to re-energize that. It goes through the skeletal structure, and it eventually will be going through the muscles and the blood and all sorts of nice little areas. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. If we could go to the next slide, please. I'm just going to read to you a description of it. The Sade Buddha Shield is a mathematical geomantic shield platform that is used to amplify the protection, power, and range of Christic interdimensional and elemental frequencies available for use within intentioned endeavors in healing, projecting, meditating, manifesting, and grid work. The Sade Buddha Shield can be achieved individually once you have anchored your 6-member Sade cloister through your first floating Buddha's rite. And that's what we're going to be doing. Next slide, please. So what does the Sade Shield look like? You know, in your handout, you'll see that I have conceptualization only, because I don't know what it looks like. But in the Festival of Light 2009, Speaker 1 talked about that they come in the Hierophant position. So we have, I just have these names here as examples. They could come in any direction. But here you have your Merkaba, and then this sphere around here is connecting these orbs that represent your 6 Buddhas. Okay? And then you project yourself into the center of the shield. That's just to give you a conceptualization of that. Okay? Next slide. All right, does anybody have any questions about how the technique is going to run, or any questions about anything that we've discussed so far? Because what we're going to do is, when we come back, is we're going to go into the journey. We're going to do the Rashira Christ Star now, go into the journey, and then hopefully everybody will have a nice experience, and we'll be able to just quietly go back to your rooms and enjoy the frequencies. Okay? All right, so what I would ask you to do is take a comfort break. This is going to be a 45-minute technique. Okay? Thank you. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to read a little bit first before we do the technique, just so you have the correct information here as it was given. The Floating Buddha's Elemental Command Cloister Sliders Team. Each personal cloister team is composed of 1 member of each of the following 6 Christ Guardian races. The members of your Sliders cloister, called your Sade cloister, have accepted service positions to be on call to assist you whenever you telepathically request their presence. They will also remain with you at times in orb if you request that they do so. When you request their presence, they will enter slide 1 by location projection from their primary biological focus of resonance and orb into the frequency bands of your primary biological focus of resonance to enter a state of live conscious communion with you, either individually or together as the 6-point Sade cloister team, whatever you request. The more you work with your Sade cloister, the clearer and stronger your communications and contact will become. They can hear and they can see you whenever you call them. But it may take some time for you to expand your own biological inner sense to hear, see, or feel their presence and communication. Ask them to assist you with expediting your sensory sensitivity to their frequencies, and they will work on multiple levels to do so. At times, for various types of interaction, they will deorb in your reality field to reveal their materialized form within the quantum, size, and matter density appropriate to your reality field. One day, through slide 2 translocation projection, you may meet and visit them in their own reality fields of Milky Way Galaxy, Median Earth, and Ashale 3, Shala 3, and Eartha 3. So when we do this technique, for those of you who are doing it for the first time, this is where you are getting your own personal healing team that knows what you need more than you do and is on call all the time. And what I would just say is don't be afraid to ask, because I already went through that with them. They don't care. They want to help you. They're committed to you. And if you don't talk to them and you don't ask them to help you, they get a little bored. Okay? So, all right. So we're going to begin. We're going to begin by doing 3 Christ star breaths. As soon as I find my sheet. Okay. So everybody in your own time, 3 Christ star breaths. All right. To request the presence of an informal communication with all of your cloister's members when working alone, simply telepathically use the elemental orb call command below, repeated 3 times. To request the presence of a specific individual member or members, use the elemental calling tone pertaining to the member's race group, putting the elemental calling tone or tones as the prefix before the elemental orb call, and repeat the prefix elemental orb call command 3 times. So what that's saying is that after you do the technique and you want to call in your healers, you would do Kisa Are, Ashea Nira Ochasa, and you would do that 3 times. If you wanted, say you wanted the bendy trainers in, then you would Zata, Ashea Nira Ochasa. Okay, that's what that's saying. All right. Calling your Shade cloister for formal Shade Buddha shield elemental command. Like the Shadra projection shield used in elemental command group work, the Shade Buddha shield is also a mathematical geometric shield platform that is used to amplify the protection, power, and range of Christic interdimensional and elemental frequencies available for use within intended endeavors in healing, projecting, meditating, manifesting, and grid work. Unlike the group Shadra Shield, the Shade Buddha Shield, also called the Floating Buddha Rite, can be achieved individually once you've anchored your 6-member Shade cloister through your first Floating Buddha's Rite. To activate your Shade Buddha Shield, first do 3 Christ star breaths, which we've just done. And then we're going to repeat the elemental orb call 3 times. And so that would be Ashea Nira Ochasa. We'll do that 3 times. Ashea Nira Ochasa. Ashea Nira Ochasa. Ashea Nira Ochasa. Now breathe normally and speak the calling command. We'll do this together out loud 3 times. Then breathe gently while waiting for your 6 Shade cloister members to orb in and take their Hierophant positions on the floor around you. Okay, so we're going to do underneath where it says part 1 calling the Sade cloister, we're going to speak that one together. I'm going to say it once so that everybody understands how it's said, and then we'll do 3 times together, okay? Azutu ave, kumsa evo, zata etu, kisa are, kevo sieta, ajunetre tua nuen, kusa teva umshedra, tise, havo. All right? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Azutu ave, kumsa evo, zata etu, kisa are, kevo sieta, ajun etre tua nuen, kusa teva umshedra, tise, havo. Again, azutu ave, kumsa evo, zata etu, kisa are, kevo sieta, ajunetre tua nuen, kusa teva umshedra, tise havo, azutu ave, kumsa evo, zata etu, kisa are, kevo sieta, ajunetre tua nuen, kusa teva umshedra, tise havo. Once your Sade cloister has taken its position as orbs on the floor around you, observe as they create a circle of energy that runs through each member's orb and surrounds you. This is the Sade shield. Now, inhale into your carinatus seal, which is between your 3rd chakra and your heart chakra. Hold the breath. And then when you exhale, exhale the breath to push a 6-point breath horizontally out from your carinatus seal, sending a streamer of living water energy out to the carinatus seal of each of the 6 cloister members. Now you're going to breathe normally. And we're going to chant the raising command out loud. And we'll sense first that the Sade shield begins to counter spin. And then next it will begin to rise upward, carrying the 6 cloister members with it. And that is Ista and Taro di Esunevaro. And we'll do this together, and we'll get a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. And then a little bit slower, a little bit slower, a little bit slower, a little bit softer, a little bit softer. And then when it feels right for you to stop, when you feel your shield is raised, then we'll stop. Okay? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ista entaro di Jesu nevaro. 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 So we chanted until we sensed the Sade shield had risen directly above our heads. Now observe that as the Sade shield moves above your head, the 6 cloister members deorb and are now in their bipedal form, sitting in the loose lotus position on their hierophant points. They have become the floating Buddhas. Notice that the spin speed of the counter-spinning Sade shield progressively increases. This is what we just went through. So now we'll do the union command, and I'm going to read this first, and then we'll do it. So we're going to inhale into the carinatus seal, and we'll hold. Then we'll exhale forcefully upward, using the exhale to push a bilocate self vertically upward into the center point of the Sade shield to become the 7th Buddha. We'll hold for a moment at the bottom of the exhale, then we'll inhale and we'll repeat Atu Sate Okay? All right, so inhale into the carinatus seal and hold. Exhale forcefully upward, using the exhale breath to push a bilokit itself vertically upward into the center point of the Sade shield to become the seventh Buddha. Hold at the bottom of the exhale, and when you're ready, inhale. And repeat the union command one time only. Atu, Sete, Um. Now you want to lay down. Are the lights over there? Yeah, we're working on it. Just make yourselves comfortable while we dim the lights. More? Okay, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Step one consists first in lying down on your back, and this is where the good suggestion of getting into position but with knees up, just to conserve a little bit of space so that everyone can get down. Your head is pointing towards the rear Hierophant and Transcendental Passage, Bardo chamber, that's behind or above your head. Keeping the spinning Sade shield with the 7 floating Buddhas still sitting in the loose lotus position, suspended above where your head was when you were sitting, just a few seconds ago. Step 2, please inhale into the carinatus seal, hold, then exhale gently, and notice that as you exhale, each of the 7 floating Buddhas in the spinning Sade shield above you sends a streamer of living water downward from its carinatus into your carinatus seal. Breathe gently and observe that on each exhale, more living water currents pulse down the 7 Buddha streamers, progressively filling your carinatus seal with pale silver aqua water light as you breathe. So breathe on like this, just for a minute or so. On each exhale, more living water currents pulse down the 7 Buddha streamers, progressively filling your carinatus seal with pale silver aqua water light. Okay. Step 4, inhale gently now into your carinatus seal, and then on upward into your azare, and hold the inhale breath at the azare. Then exhale a 12-point horizontal breath outward from your azare through your 12 fire chambers. And hold this breath at the bottom of the exhale, sensing a gentle popping sensation emerging from your azare water seat. Breathe normally and observe that a thin fluid disc of living water hydrolase now spreads out horizontally beneath you from the center point of your carinatus seal This disc will spread outward horizontally to a diameter about 3 times your physical height, like a large circular blanket underneath your physical body. Now, from your seventh Buddha bilocate position, sitting within the Shade shield, floating above you, inhale and do this physically. Hold. And then exhale downward, using the bilocate's exhale breath to push a thick, obvious elemental orb stream down from the bilocate's carinatus seal to your physical body's carinatus seal, and then breathe normally. Continuing to breathe normally, notice now that on each of your exhale breaths, the spinning Shade shield above you begins to lower, moving downward and expanding in diameter until it comes to rest on the floor around you, expanding to the diameter of and anchoring within the living water disk, as all of the 7 Buddhas return to their orb state while holding their Hierophant positions around you. Continue gentle, meditative breathing for several minutes, sensing an increase of spin speed in the counter-spinning rings of the Shade shield around your physical body. Try to sense that as the spin speed increases, the frequency power held within the Shade shield also increases, becoming a gently humming and crackling EM field, spinning horizontally around your body. Feel for the sensation of an energy cloud mattress building directly beneath your body, and a feeling of lifting, as if your physical body is beginning to levitate upward into the air as it lies on its back. And incidentally, eventually this step can take you into physical levitation once the body is more prepared. Just spend a little longer sensing an increase of the spin speed in the counter-spinning rings of the Shade shield. As the spin speed increases, the frequency power held within the shield increases also, producing a gentle humming and crackling EM field. Now, next please inhale and hold. And on the exhale, use the breath to expand out a giant gossamer opaque silver white orb around you and the spinning Shade shield. And imagine that you can now only see the inside of your orb, the private space of your inner Buddha self. Exhale, expand out a giant gossamer opaque silver white orb all around you and the spinning Shade shield. And imagine that you can now only see the inside of your orb, the private space of your inner Buddha self. Here, as the flows of the transcendental passage move gently through your orb, you are Buddha. From this state, you may launch projection journeys, engage in Shadra shield grid work, engage remote healing on self or others, create thought forms for materialization, or engage personal healing and communication with the members of your Shade cloister. Invite members to de-orb and join you in your Buddha space.
All right, just send the intention for them all to come in for a minute, just to de-orb and meet you in this outer space, outer space, your Buddha space. We've already done the calling them and things, so it stands. We don't have to go through that all over again. Once we're in this space, you just simply send the intention, like, please come on in. Can I see you for a moment? They will adjust size-wise so they fit in this particular part. They will get bigger once the healer ones come in, once they come and to do the physical work directly on you. Imagine that they're all the same size as about you are, and they're just sitting there in their Buddha positions, and see if you can feel or see any detail about them at all. Because eventually you'll be able to see them sitting there before you when you close your eyes in this space. They'll change positions sometimes too, they said. Like sometimes you'll see the Zayane sitting right in front of you. Other times it'll be one of the other ones. So it's not always the same one in the same Hierophant position. I've got my Zayane in front. Okay. Now, if at home you spend some time with this and really like lean into it, you will eventually be able to use this space for contact, and you literally just kind of like blink off, tune out this world out here, and be in this space that is your Buddha space, and you can interact with them and talk with them, and it will get stronger and stronger. Eventually you'll learn to bring your whole body fully into that space when we go into the actual slides. But for now, we're going to say a quick greeting and then a quick see you later, as all of them except for the two healers are going to go back into orb. They will keep their positions as orb, but the two healer ones, the Aquial, which are the Iridanis sparkle people, that one will take a position at your knees. So it'll kind of be like in the point in front of you when you're laying down, the Hierophant point in front. And the other will take the position, the other being the Aqui, which are the really, really big ones. They're shrinking down for this. And they're the ones who have the beautiful gossamer luminous skin, where they'll start out with a radiant white light base coming out of them now. And those colors will change as they run the healing currents. That one will be directly behind you. And what they're going to do, because of their height and trying to get enough frequency in, which means bigger body form, they're going to sink into the floor up to about their carinatus seal. So you'll just have the top of them there above the floor. So their hands can be there as if, they were doing a Kathara healing type thing with you. Now, this is going to be called the Kisa Are, which are their names. The Kisa are the Iridanis ones, and the Are are the Aqui. It's called a Kisa Are clearing. And just breathe gently and try to feel the sensation, because in a moment they're going to, try to feel first that these two large palms cupping the top of your head and radiating white light that has the most loving feeling to it. It's an amazing feeling. And try to feel on your knees now these two really large hands gently resting on the knees, because there are chakras in the kneecaps, right under the kneecaps area, and they're going to transmit that way. So try to feel the presence of their gentle touch on you. I ask you to inhale, and on the exhale they will both start running currents. The one at the top will run it down, and the one at the bottom will run it up, and they will meet in the middle in your carinatus seal and keep running also down and up. Now exhale and start the currents running. Try to sense around you the sparkles. You might even be able to see them if you can open your eye a little bit and peek around. If you can see some of the sparkle energy that comes with the Kisa. The energy is just going to run for a few moments. Try to feel it swaying through you, and try to feel them swaying in synchronization as one on top leans forward, the one at your knees leans backward where it is, so they're kind of like rocking the energy back and forth through you. they're doing is moving enough energy through to be able to clear the false homing seed imprint that came in, that was connected with the body cell. And they're actually washing it out of the nuclear core in your atoms, because it's not located in any one place. It's actually imprinted in all the atoms. One of them is doing the washing, and the other is actually taking the codes from your own homing seed that you activated the other day, and putting that in. So where they're washing the false one out of the atoms, they're putting the natural homing code back in. And they'll do this for a few moments. You can have them do this, by the way, bring them in this configuration when you want to do any kind of healings and clearings in your body. They're literally giving you a cell wash or an atomic wash. And they just move gently back and forth in synchronization, rocking with your body in between. Try to feel the swaying of the energies moving through you. Try to feel a bit of a burden lifting. It seems for me, I'm feeling it in the center first, like in the center part of my body first, and it's spreading more as toward the outer parts of it. But it's like almost like a release of tension feel in the atoms themselves, is what I'm trying to describe it as. And it's as if an old tension that was the old encryption that didn't belong there is being cleansed away. Try to feel your atoms actually relaxing. Literally, the atoms are relaxing. The electrons are actually shifting their speed of spin just a little bit to a more natural, normal pattern. And try to feel it spread out from the middle and all the way up and down your body as the currents from the healers move back and forth through you. And just breathe gently for a few more moments. And they're going to give a call when it's done, when the encryptions are reset. Now they're going to give one more breath of like a push of energy to amplify the energy right into, to create a spark together, one coming from the top, one coming from the bottom, to create a big spark in your carinatus seal. So in a moment, just inhale, hold for a moment. And when we exhale, that's when they're going to transmit the sparks. Try to feel it. And they'll go right up through your knees and down through your head and meet in the carinatus seal. All right, and exhale now. And that's when the sparks come in. Try to feel like this shudder, this starburst. It just almost makes you feel shudder, like a firework went off inside, but a good one that cleaned out the rest at every angle. And try to feel a funny sensation as the waters run through the living waters are running now through the axiotonal lines and the meridian lines. And now the lines are starting to cross. The unigenetic underlay is beginning to activate now. Try to feel that like cross-hatching running all through the body like a netting, a webwork that works all through the cellular communication lines, the atomic communication lines. Try to feel the sensation of lightning and almost like a tingling inside your skin. It's also inside the skin of your organs, inside, is even inside your bones. This is your own natural unigenetic underlay, which is the hydrolase flow lines and the lines through which when you do a slide, that the celestialine wave runs through. Okay. Now they're going to have us switch position and get into the sitting position, into the loose lotus sitting position. And we're going to move into healing the wounds of time and what is called the love touch return to trust. All right. Now, in this position, they are going to have the Aquiel, the sparkle person, is going to still be behind you, and the Aqui light being is still going to be in front of you. They are still up to the, only like from their carinated seal up, or from the floor, and the rest is going down under in the planes, just so they can be closer to you. What they're going to do, they know that there's so much over the centuries, and also even in this lifetime, of imprints of fear and pain and the inability to trust anymore, the abandonment of hope. There's so much of this stuck in our atomic structures from this life alone, but we also have it from the other parts of ourselves that we have been integrating, from the parts that were our other probable selves, the parts that were our other incarnate selves. And we're going to begin, they're going to assist us in healing some of these wounds of time. And they're going to do a similar thing, but not exactly the same. This is almost like, instead of just rocking energy back and forth through you. And this is where I'm going to describe it to you first, what they're showing me. And when they start it, and when you do this, you can call them in to do exactly this at home too. When they start it, the idea is just to try to lean into the feeling and not have to listen, to me too much or anything like that, just to lean into the feeling. Because what they're going to do, there'll be little bits of things that I say as they, tell me what they would like. But they're both going to, it's like a double hug. First, you're going, the one behind you, the Aquiel, is going to begin massaging your back gently. Try to feel the tingle. It's not doing it yet, but this is what they're going to do. Because once they start, it won't be me like trying to interpret things. It will just be saying, they will just lead you through this. But it will start with a back rub that is actually sending the iridonis energy right through your cells, trying to loosen your muscles. Try to feel it loosen pain. They're going to start this part now, okay? And meanwhile, the other one's still in front of you, not doing anything yet, okay? All right, so try to feel the presence of the Aquiel behind you, the sparkle person, and the large hands gently rubbing your back with just the right amount of pressure. Imagine the sparkles that this light being is made of, are actually going into the skin and healing as they go, healing the muscles, healing the atoms. Try to feel the feeling of it. They're going to start at the bottom now and just gently move up and up the back and then out the shoulders. Just try to feel the fluid motion of it. At some point you will feel tingling when you work with them with this. You will feel, if you don't this time, you will feel it the more you call them in to do this. Now try to feel those large, gentle hands coming up over your shoulders and beginning to gently massage your neck. Feel the massage in your neck and lean into it a little bit. Just try to feel the sensation. Try to feel the absolute, just pure love as the sparkles go into your cells. The hands are moving up now, cupping the back of your head, massaging that spot that gets so sore sometimes where the head hooks onto the neck. Just try to feel it, the loosening. Try to feel the fingers moving up behind your ears and all those spots that you never even think could use a rub. Feel them moving into a head rub now, going up and just gently massaging your whole scalp. As the tinglings are going in, the little sparkles are going in. And now the Aquiel behind you is going to move downward, back down to your tailbone area and begin massaging there and massaging the tailbone area. And as the being does this, the Ahui in front of you is now going to raise its lovely hands up that are radiating just beautiful, gentle, diffused but bright at the same time white light. And he's going to put his hands like directly on and over where your lungs would be, over your lungs and heart. Try to just feel the sensation. It's a new energy. It's a different type of energy field that carries the most amazing like wave of love. Try to feel the absolute empathy and compassion. These beings are empaths to the nth degree. They can feel everything that hurts. They feel everything you feel just by touching you and being near you. And they want to send healing to where there is any hurt. Try to feel the presence of the love on your chest as those gentle hands just sit there for a little bit. They're not even transmitting anything, just the light is kind of just touching the surface of your skin. And try to feel at the same time the gentle massaging of the tailbone area as those large hands from behind come around and actually massage your hip bones. So tailbone with the thumbs, and he's coming around and massaging the hip bones with the fingertips. His large hands, you can reach the hip bones. Just feel all the tension down there in the pelvic girdle starting to release as the sparkles come through. And now the hands of the Akwi in front of you are going to move. And he's going to gently put both hands, one on each side of your face, and just touch your face gently with the most loving touch, almost like a lover, but not a sexual lover. Like you might hold the face of a child that you absolutely adore and find beautiful, a beautiful spirit that you were touching. That's the sentiment. Try to feel the feeling of the love in the hands as he caresses you, and just gently caresses to ease pain. He's going to try to move his fingers across your brow to release the stress, or across the forehead to release the stress. So using the thumbs under the cheekbones gently to release the stress in the face. Release and heal. Release and heal. It's going to gently stroke your eyelashes. It's a very loving gesture. Just gently petting your eyelashes. And then gently petting your eyelids just a little bit. And easing tightness that happens in your eyeballs and in the muscles inside. Just feel the easing of the tightness. Now feel the presence of the Akriel behind you, and feel that he is moving actually close, where he's putting his chest against your entire back and wrapping his arms more fully around you to where his hands are resting from behind, coming around you, resting on your knees. He's hugging you from behind. This is where we let go of a fear of trusting and learn how to trust again, like relaxing into a lover's arms, but a lover of spirit. Try to feel the absolute love. It is the type of love that the Christians share with each other there. They're affectionate and touching, and even the ones that are completely genderless, they love at an amazing capacity. Try to feel that healing wrapped around you from behind. And now feel the presence of the Akhui in front of you, moving a bit closer to you as well. And he's going to remove his hands from your face gently and put them on your shoulders and rub your shoulders a bit from the front because he's sitting in front of you. And then he's just going to gently pull you a little bit forward into a hug where you can rest your head on his shoulder, while he puts his arms around your shoulders and hugs you from the front. So you have one hugging low from behind, the other hugging high from the front. And just feel like you're being in a womb of love. Here it is safe. Here you can trust. Here no violation will occur. You can come back here to be with the healers anytime you want to. You can ask them to come to you, and there's many other types of healings they can work with, but it starts with the love and the trust. Feel the energy move between them now, as the sparkles are like carriers of the love that the Aquila is feeling, move forward through you, but also into the Aqua in front of you, where they're loving each other too, with you in the middle, and feel the beautiful white beams of light coming through the skin of the Aqua in front of you and moving back into the Aqua behind you. And they both start to, there's energy moving in both of them as they're experiencing the love. And in the love, the healing comes. And you're in the middle of this love, literally a sacred, chaste love union. There's nothing to do with sexuality. It doesn't need to. It's so far beyond that. You're almost melting. They actually do have the ability to melt into each other just to experience fully what the other is feeling and then pull back apart and be themselves again. They're not going to do that right now, though. Okay. Now feel them relax a bit, and they're not pulling you forward, and your head comes off the shoulder of the one in front of you. And the Aqua in front of you is going to telepath something to you. You may not hear it yet in words, but through this hug, they were able to understand where the deepest hurts right now are. And he's going to telepath something to you that you may hear as words. You may start getting images or feelings coming up that flit by, because what this love energy has done is actually move out of your atomic structure imprints of the Jarosh from you and also from other lifetimes. Try to feel the release, and try to feel the hands again on your face of the Akwi. And this time he's going to touch your eyes gently, and he will telepath to you the direct cognition. It'll have words too, if you can hear them, of it is all right to cry. Let it go. Let it wash away. Let it be gone. Let it be healed. Feel the release. Let it go. It is gone. That which is not of the Christ is not eternal. It is gone. When you do these healings at home with them, and sometimes they'll actually lay you down at this point and lay down next to you, and one hold you from behind, one hold you from the front. And this is why they will send the genderless ones in for this, so there's no problem of worrying about that. And they will actually hold you full body on, laying down, like side to side. You know, they'll have you on your side. You can take this from there. If the tears need to come, let them. Because behind the tears, there is release and joy. There is joy under that. It's gone. It doesn't have to stay. Whatever it was, it doesn't matter anymore. With this, any persons that come to mind that are connected to the pain that you're feeling now, if they're from this life, say, I accept forgiveness now. I will forgive. I will give away the pain. It is gone. It is done. I release this. Feel the love. You'd never have to feel that lonely frightenedness again. These healers will come to you, not just for a biological healing, but to heal all that hurts and harms. They are like your lovers, but where sex isn't involved. It is that pure love that lovers actually try to look for in each other, which is very hard to find down here. They are committed, and it will be these two. They are committed. They're not going to send in another set. These are the ones that will work with you. They will let you get to know them, and they would like to get to know you. And they will come just to hold you when you go to sleep sometimes, if you want that. Like when you're a child and you feel troubled, and your mom takes you and puts her, or dad takes you and puts you in bed and just, wraps up around you and says, it's okay. And you kind of go, oh. As you relax in their shield, they are willing to give you that comfort. It is being able to relax in the protection of their shield. So if you'd like them to do that, they won't do it without you asking. And right now you will keep, once you open a connection with them like this, it will last for about 48 hours. So you don't have to keep doing it and calling them all back again and all that. You don't have to go through the whole technique to bring them back. You would just use that really quick thing on page 1 to call them back in and get yourself, try to, quickly get yourself into that space where you're not doing full Sade. You can do it, but it takes longer. If you just want them to come in quick and just help comfort me, please. Part of healing is comforting and bringing comforting and nurturing to a being. So they're very willing to do this. From this point on, you have not only the family you have down here, your biological ones, and the ones that you find in the group shield here, but you have a very special family, a slide family, and that family will stay with you until they successfully help you to get to median earth one way or the other. At times they will talk with you once they open more communication and you get where you can hear them more. They'll talk with you about choices, about do you want to do the full biological slide? Do you feel you'd rather incarnate directly into an aqua fairy and just do proper bardo? You at this point have the family link that you need. These are your slide family. And you have the ability with them that if the shield was ever pulled, they can get you out really fast at this and help you maintain that 75% light quotient. The light quotient will go up from here, and they will work with you to raise it personally. This is this is actually a transformation point in your lives to have these beings with you. Please get to know them and they are really there and they are really real. And the more you work with the techniques, the more you will realize that is true. They will help you learn to shift the focus of being embedded in a reality here, and this is the only one that seems real and everything else seems imaginary. You will start to see how not imaginary the places from which they come are. If you'd like, they will stay with you now in the form that they're in, except they'll have to walk around as if they're wading through water up to their waist kind of thing, because they're going to stay where they can look at you eye to eye. If they're 12 feet tall, it's going to be like you're going to be looking at their kneecaps. So they're going to move themselves downward so they can, if at some point they'll actually do eye contact. That's what they're doing right now. They're still here. They're still with you. If you like, you can, when you walk out tonight, feel them holding your hands, right? They'll position themselves where they can actually walk out as if you're holding hands together, one on each side. Doesn't matter which. You have your team with you now. The other guys are just as loving too, but these guys carry a very, very special set of empath frequencies that allow them to actually, if you put two of those together, they can blend into one being and energetically, literally get in each other's skin and become a being that's the composite of the two of them and larger than some of its parts, but then pull themselves back out again. They're capable of doing this with each other and with other beings. They're not doing that right now to that degree, but that empathy allows them to run the great joy and love that they live all the time to you and through you. And that's what this was about. This has washed the karmic imprints off that you would have picked up otherwise from your other vectors. It has cleared those out, so you've got you. And it's cleared out some of the things from your past here. They suggest calling them in frequently as you need, but at least about once a week, if not more. And you don't even have to do the long call. Just hail them and give a little bit of time, even if it's right before you go to sleep, to do this comfort touch, this love touch, return of trust thing. And just let them hold you and just run the love through you. And you will find that it will just really shift a lot of things. It will take off layers of your own karmic imprint from this life that come up, because as DNA activates, stuff kicks up on the Jaros side as well. Let them help you with it. This is just the beginning. Later, once you move through a cycle of working with the healers, then there's a part that's going to want to say, okay, what about the trainers or the other ones? Or how about the aqua fairy? Because I'd like to play. I forgot how to play. That joyful play that kids can do, the silliest of things, but they're just having an absolute great time, where they're lighthearted and the spirit is just flowing. The aqua fairy can help you with that too. So can the healers. So this is the beginning of a relationship, of a very intimate and wonderful relationship, with you and a group of 6 other beings that do have biological forms in their reality fields where they are. They are projecting to you, and they're very good at it, because you will find that eventually you'll actually be able to see them, and you'll actually see. I've seen these guys, and I've seen which one was it? The Aquiel. A long time ago, I actually saw one of these, and I didn't know who or what it was, but it looked like it was sleeping next to me on the bed, not doing anything, but it was just like this sparkly person asleep, and like with a head on the pillow and the whole bit, just sleeping next to me. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and it was there. It was like, because I didn't know who it was then. But now I'm realizing that being, that was ages ago. That was like right after the walk-in, walk-out occurred for me. These people are with you. They are your team. You will get to know them more and more. But you also get out of it what you put into it. If you work with the techniques, work to meet them, make appointments with them. Don't forget about them for 6 months and then say, oh yeah, he's still around. They will be, but they'll be a bit bored with them. Yeah. Then if you let them go for like a month or something and forget they're there, I would suggest to run the long version of this first, right? Do the whole connection, bring the whole shield in again, because they will. They're obliged to come in. That is their service contract that they chose. So you'll get the whole bunch in, and then go back to the healers. Just, say, once you got the whole bunch in, say, hi, everybody, sorry I forgot you. Could the healers please stay with me for a while now? So you can take it into that kind of thing. In that process, the level 4 ordinations have been run through. So they are now, the degree of them that you can hold in your bodies right now is active and online in the DNA. The parts that your DNA might not be ready to hold yet are in your field, and it will just progressively, automatically go on autopilot. I think that, what? He just did something. Oh, that felt neat. He just did something on my back, like tapped it. It made me jump. Is there one more thing you're going to do? He's going, back. Well, okay. What? All right, the sparkle one. I keep forgetting their names. The sparkle man, being, it's not even man, being, is going back behind you again. And he's going to rub just a little bit in 2 spots. One right behind your azure, and the other simultaneously with the other hand, and I'm not sure which hand's which, doesn't matter, is going to be right behind your carinatus seal, but on the spine, that where would be behind those spots if you went through yourself. He's going to tell me what it's about in a minute. Try to feel the little tingle as the sparkles go in. Oh, I see what you're doing. Cool. Okay. In a minute, he's going to run the silver sparkles literally through all the bones and up and down the spine, because that is where the biotes attach. So if you have any of those things in you, this will transmute them and get them out. Alrighty, cool. Right. So just rubbing the spots a little bit gently and transmitting little bursts of it, building up in those 2 points, the current, and now the sparkle currents, and these are the currents from Ashale. All right, and now, all right. Now he's just going to take his 2 hands with the big thumbs and literally run up and down the spine with the thumbs, and it's going to spread what was transmitted in there up and down through the spine. And imagine your spine is the whole spinal cord, and right through the bone itself and all around it is actually being cleaned by this sparkle. It's like sparkle plenty that you use on chandeliers. It's just going through sparkling, like scrubby bubbles almost, like those commercials. But they're little tiny sparkles, but covered in it. It's like your whole spine is running sparkles. Now it's going right up into the tip of the spine, top of the spine at the neck, and going into where the head hooks on, and going all the way down into it's actually running the whole skeleton now. Okay, cool. Like it's other stuff off, he said. And going into the tailbone and right down the legs. Feel it going all through the legs, going from the bones, spreading out through all the muscles, through the ankles, releasing all that tension and all the swelling that sometimes happens when you're on airplanes and overtired and all that. Feel it in your feet, going through your feet. Feel it coming down your arms now, and through your arms, and at your palms and your hands. And finally feel it coming up your neck, and all through your head, and through your face, and your eyeballs, and your lips. You're just running the frequencies that come from the Ashalam, the Edonic Ashalam temples of Ashale. And now he's going to stop with the moving of the thumbs up and down and just give you one final, just kind of like a see you later hug from behind. You know, he's just reaching around you, and try to feel the arms around you here. Kind of, you know, you can put your head down on a huge hands. And they're just going to say, you know, bye for now. And we are with you. And please don't forget. And if you'd like, we'll be with you in the dream state too, and we'll start teaching you things. They will start teaching you things about healing things in your body yourself as well, about adjustments you can make and things you're doing and you eating and exercising and all that, as well as the things that we've taught. Alrighty. So, all right. They got it. These are the things that are scorpions, right?
Pretty nice, huh? So, as Speaker One suggested, to go home and work with these guys. They're your family. And my personal experience with them is they're very lighthearted, serious when they have to be. We're very lighthearted, like to joke a lot. But also they do come when you call. So we thank you for coming. And if you would take some time at the back of your handout to fill out a feedback form and get it back to me sometime during the workshop. That lets us know what you liked and what you didn't like, and it's anonymous, so you can sign your name however you choose. Thank you very much for coming.